It's so lovely to have you here today. Could you please introduce your name, designation, and company name?
Hello, Anupama. Very pleased to be with you. My name is Vina. I'm the CEO of Denodo Technologies, data integration, data management company based in Palo Alto, California, and with offices in 20 countries, 25 offices in 20 countries, with a very large global presence.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And we just shoot off with a few questions for you today. When did you start your Indian operations and where are you with it now?
We had a very peculiar history because we started in Spain, where I was a professor in academia in the university, a full professor in software in the Technical University of Madrid, and then in another university in the Northwest, in Coruña. And we developed a technology for data integration that was unique at the moment. It was transformational because it was addressing data integration problems without the need of ETL in the data. This means basically without the need to move data from one place to another place. And that was very much the origination of the business. 5 years later, I took my luggage and my family went to California with some investors behind me because the technology was definitely at that moment, getting maturity and ready for rock in the global stage, and everything started from there. Developing first North America, then Europe, and landing here in Chennai a few years ago, and in many other parts of the world.
Great. That's fantastic. But I'd love to know your opinion about if you believe Indian firms are facing data challenges today, and how different are they from the rest of the world?
Well, I always try to explain data challenges from the perspective of the CEO, which is my chair. I understand them very well because I live those challenges every day in my company, in my own company. Now, what it really matters the most, when it's about information and data, to the top executives, to leaders, to the ones that are really making decisions that really are important, for a business, for a government, for anything that really is important in life. Well, there are three basic things. One is access to the data. Everyone is pushing at the top, for democratizing the data, democratizing data access. We want our teams or people using more data, making better decisions. Better decisions usually require, a good map, a good access, to information, to data. And this is important for being competitive, for not losing opportunities. This applies, everyone understands because applies to your individual life as well. You need to be well informed, having the data at your fingertips, in order to make, good decision making. So that's the very first value equation, for our technology. The second is about rationalizing investments, with data infrastructure, which is when a corporation thinks about information about that data, it thinks about how long it takes to prepare data for use, how much it costs, to build data systems, to maintain data systems. Well, this is something that is very much about reducing cost, making things efficient, be fast, at having the data at your fingertips. And the third challenge, that is in the data space, in the information space, is about compliance, reducing risk. Companies, they use data for regulatory reports. They use data for securing data access. They use data for and technology for implementing data privacy policies, for adding governance policies, to the data pipes. Those are the main challenges. data for opportunities, data to be efficient, at lower possible cost, data for compliance. And this is what we very much do with our technology, with our proposition to the market, is trying to bring technology that makes or tackles all these challenges at once.
Thank you so much. And do you believe that only certain sectors or certain industries are impacted by data challenges? For example, the BFSI sector.
Absolutely. All this applies, to all verticals, all industries. We've been just here in Chennai meeting financial services companies, manufacturing companies. The last one that we visited this afternoon was an insurance, the major insurer in India. So all data, all the companies require, data for being efficient, for finding opportunities, for being compliant. At the end, is a top priority at the level of the highest executive layer in all these organizations. It is very well reflected by our customer base. We sell globally and we sell in all verticals. And you have customers which are a big bank in Germany, and the next customer may be a telco in Mexico. And the next customer is a healthcare company, in Singapore, or a mining company in Saudi Arabia, And this also is very nice. It's beautiful to see, that some commonality across organizations, which is, well, the use of data, the use of information is what it is. It's very agnostic. It matters everywhere, matters for everyone.
That's interesting that you have spanned across the geography, I think, the entire world. Could you tell us some of the key solutions that you would think would tackle these data challenges?
Well, the solutions vary a lot, depending on the industry. But we can kind of simplify, the different use cases around a few topics. What we provide with our technology is a solution to unify multiple data silos. Data is inherently fragmented. So the solutions are about how to deal with data in a scenario where the data is fragmented, in an easy way. Because when you need to compose something that is made out of fragments, you need the glue. You need the glue. We are the glue for data users. We very much propose, the unification of different data systems through an abstraction layer, a data layer that makes the unification. It's like the magic that makes the data unified for the business users, which is what everyone wants. When I ask for a report in my own company, I want the data. I don't care where the data is. And a report may include data from the CRM system, from database 1, from database 2, from an ERP system, for an HR system. There's many different sources, but when I use the data, I'm not thinking where this data comes from. I just need a business view that includes all these fragments. Well, is what we do. Our technology very much is applied to really unified multiple data systems that can be multi-platform, multi-cloud. Doesn't matter where they reside. The data doesn't matter in which technology, in which format, in which system, in which geography it resides. We unify that and we make just data access simple. Not just simple, also efficient. Efficient in the sense that, to prepare these data sets is fast comparing with traditional technologies. Is lower cost because we don't move the data, we don't create new data systems. And at the same time, is secure and is compliant, because you can apply all these policies for security and governance that they are very much needed these days because of regulation.
Yes, I believe the key challenges that most industries are facing is data and analytics, to crunch the data from no matter what source. So that's really interesting. And tell us how your customers in India are using that technology.
Well, exactly the same than customers, everywhere else. You are not different, and in fact, we are firm believers, in this market. You have here something very unique. A country with probably the highest number of data experts and engineers. In fact, we have many customers in many geographies that they end up deploying our technology here in India, and India is probably the country in the world with the highest number of experts in the Denodo technology. Because if you take, our customers, the JP Morgans or Bank New York Mellons or the Pfizer's or the AstraZeneca's or you name it, Caterpillars or Intel's, BNP Paribas, all these companies which are customers of us, they have teams here in India using our technology. In addition to that, because this is the first approach to Chennai was to build, a second technology hub. Our first technology hub is in Europe, in Spain, and we also have now another technology hub in the US. And the first approach was to support global expansion, not as an offshore, because we thought about Chennai as our technical hub for everything, for all practices in the company. We started with the technical teams. We added marketing team. Now we have an operations team that have also global responsibilities. We are part of the finance team also here in Chennai. And finally, which we started last year, we started our commercial operation. So we have sales, business development, marketing, everything, that customer success, to develop the India market. And our Indian customers, they very much use the technology exactly the same, than other companies. We have HDFC as customer here in India. They use the technology, as the other banks do, in any other country. Unifying these fragments, applying governance solutions, increasing the time to decreasing the time to market, the time to life that it takes to prepare the data. So these are very much the uses that we our Indian customers make of the Denodo. Same GE India, same Schneider Electric. We are here definitely to tap into all possible verticals. We opened a second office in India, in Mumbai, pure for commercial reasons. Our commitment is definitely to develop India. We now have also a commercial team in Delhi. So we have great expectations about the potential of the India market. We are firm believers, and we can really tap into this high-end segment, big companies that manage high volumes of information, of data, to really help them to do data management in a much better way.
Thanks so much. I think that really covers the gamut of your services as well. So thank you.
Thank you.